Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes. 5 Minutes is a series where we try and get through the characters as quickly as possible. And I put in every single character I have, and I'm gonna try and guess which ones, the lore, or explain the lore in 5 minutes or less. So it's gonna be tough because I don't remember every single last one. Mainly a few notorious ones, but I'm not sure if, and even for the notorious ones, I'm gonna miss some details, so stay tuned. 3, 2, 1. Didn't I get this guy already? I could have sworn I got this guy. He has the ability to summon in... What does he have the ability to do? So he's in a world where there's superpowers and, everything's just fine and super. But he's also a superhuman, which... What is his power? I know he has the ability to do something, but I think it wasn't in 5 minutes where I got this guy. It was in, I think it was in Golden Perspective. I could be wrong. But anyways, I think you're able to, he was able to turn people into toys? Question mark? Now, I didn't have that much lore for him because I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was gonna die pretty fast, right? So, I'm taking heavy inspiration from, Suicide Squad and whatnot because, well, that's kind of what they are. They're kind of disposable. Superheroes are disposable because, well, they're not the only ones with powers. They're not the only powerful ones. They're just the ones that are brave enough to sign up. And, they're just like soldiers. They're not very, yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy's gonna either die fast or maybe he's gonna have a fake death where he's gonna feel like it's gonna look like he's dead. Maybe he gets shot in the stomach or something. I'm picturing a whole massacre full of, I'm picturing 20 to 30 heroes going after a certain somebody. Maybe the traitor, maybe, of the group or whatever. Maybe, and I'm picturing, not just, I'm picturing an army of people going after these heroes. So it's 30 super powered beings against a whole army. I'm picturing Napoleon Bonaparte. I can't say his name, but you know how Napoleon had all those troops that he lost in Russia? I know not a lot of people are going to remember history, and that's quite literally the worst example I could have brought up, but pretty much there's just gonna be a whole army fully equipped with weaponry and armor to kill those heroes. And they killed most of them. Mike is probably gonna have some plot armor or something. Well, if he's even in the fight. But I'm sorry, it's a she. It's complicated. Anyways, point is, this is a character that I'm thinking, if I want to be nice, I'll give him a fake death. where they get shot in the leg or stomach, or honestly, we could just go for the head and call it a day. But that's more. It feels overdone, doesn't it? Like surviving from a gunshot from the head, but maybe from the hands. Like they're gonna lose something, and it's gonna look like they lost their life, but they're gonna come back, and then that's gonna be like their sort of redemption arc. Maybe the way they died, they were gonna conquer how they died. Like, if they died because they didn't have much bravery or much belief in themselves, they're gonna gain that. Just as an example. And that's it. Okay, next up we got 3, 2, 1. Oh gosh. Okay, this is this girl, Ella. Ella is a girl from the fairy universe. They're pretty much the romantic and the like romantic interest within the romantic insert within the story of the fairy universe. Like, we have a fairy protagonist, right? Who's used to having. Well, the emphasis of the story is that we have a fairy protagonist who's used to selfish and quite frankly ruthless people being his owners or whatever. So he rejects the like oath of the fairies doing as they're told, doing, like following the commands of someone who he believes is weaker. And Ella shows him. I'm thinking Ella's the one that shows him. Well, either they show him mercy or they show him them. They either show him mercy or they start to like feed into the goal. Because I feel like having a romantic interest change you for the better is kind of cliche. It gets overdone. We get it. But what if your romantic interest actually thinks you're right? What if they think you're not going too far enough? What if they rather have you ruthless? Wouldn't that be interesting? That would be much more, interesting character than just, oh, I'm nice and I would like to make you nicer. Like, it's okay on paper, and there is potential, don't get me wrong. There's potential in everything, but it feels like it's a bit more harder to make a story. Well, it's not like we're making a story specifically for her. I'm just saying, it feels like it's a more interesting lead to go for a approach where she and her romantic interest, the protagonist, are both agreeing on ruthlessness, or at least understand each other's perspectives on paper. Doesn't that like make sense? They see eye to eye is what I'm saying. So pretty sure that's it. Nothing really well, she's got she has red eyes, which is already a red flag, pun unintended. I know she has blue in her outfit. I'm probably thinking of another character. But I'm pretty sure she has a blue sweater, red eyes, and I must say black hair? Was it wrong? I think it was black. Could have been white. It was black, probably. But yeah, she's just this sort of, I'm not gonna say angelic, but she's clearly on the protagonist's side. Whether she'll stay on his side, we'll have to find out when she actually gets a pause in the story, or her story develops. Okay. I forgot to go and look at Lemesis. I hate these names. Like, it's bad. Okay, so I was right about him being able to turn people into toys. He's a martial artist. Oh, okay, he can also do the opposite. He can turn toys into living people. That's creepy. Oh my goodness. And of course he looks creepy with his ammo sort of setup. He has the red eyes, the purple hair, the gray jacket, and the gray suit. It's not a suit. He has like a black shirt, black tie. Yeah, looks okay. But let's go to Ella. Okay. Yeah, I was wrong. Okay, so instead of her, it doesn't specifically say that she's the love interest. So, I guess she's a close friend to the protagonist of this universe. She's an artist. She's kind, not that smart, but not stupid either. She's a bit bossy. Alright, so deep down she has a good heart, but okay. So what if she does start out, like, in order to incorporate both ideas, what if she starts out as the typical sort of supporting character, and then she develops into a ruthless, more ruthless person, a more interesting person, you know? Maybe she starts to agree with her sort of friend, right? Why wouldn't they agree? Yet okay, so maybe, and this is just a theory, maybe the reason why they regain hope. Okay, so this is like the protagonist's reason for having hope in, well, humans. All you've seen were monsters, right? But he's never seen he's seen monsters with purpose before, right? And he was forced to do monstrous things. But he hasn't seen, like, he didn't think, he hasn't seen a monster with a purpose like this. He hasn't seen, I feel like Ella's gonna soon become a monster. And maybe she's going to have him push back on the ruthlessness against humans, not because of them outright telling them not to do this. It's like they are too eager for me to do this. Like, this, they clearly aren't in the right mind space. Like, something has to happen. A lot of things have to happen in order for her to develop into this sort of ruthless spiral. That's what we're gonna call it. Spiral of ruthlessness. Like, picture like a wave. When I think of this character, I picture a wave. It looks good from the distance, but once you get close, once it develops in size, that can kill a man. Anyways, what was I saying? Alright. Oh, hang on. I wasn't ready. Anyways, let's do this. So we got okay, so this is pretty simple. This is an animatronic that Jackie Purple created. She takes the form of a small adolescent child. Female, to be exact. With the ability to manipulate and control smoke in any conceivable way she can see fit. Her imagination is the limit. So if she wanted to, she could summon in tons of smoke clones. We can see telekinesis. We can see, like, these are just the powers that they could possess. And of course they have the strengths of an animatronic. Like, you have your super strength, super speed, super resistance. And you're like a superhuman, but on perks. And then you get your signature ability, which for her, it's smoke. Maybe you can, like, there's so many possibilities. Maybe you can turn people into smoke. I haven't thought of that, but maybe that's a more powerful ability, where she uses all of her strength to turn, like, imagine you just, how would that even make sense? How would you, and Jackie Purple understood her, biology. She understood how she was able to do that, because he made her, but that is just a bit overwhelming. But, I mean, you can't really, it's kind of like, this whole sort of, that universe alone is insane. It has literally everything you could want ever. Superheroes check, supervillains check, gods check, monsters check. Want to go further into monsters? Let's go into it. So we got werewolves, of course, vampires, because of course we got ghosts, because of course we got, like, the list goes on and on. Sentient animals, because why not? We got animatronics. We got tech from, like, not ancient tech, but some have God tech. We have different types of technology. We got aliens. Like, we have all of these sort of, like, ideas, right? We have all these central ideas, and we're just blending them up into one big world. One big world that has to be developed, mind you. Has to be developed carefully and very slowly. Alright, there has to be we have to see sagas for each of them. If there's an alien saga, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna incorporate. We're gonna have to do it soon. We're gonna have to do all the insane stuff soon. And in order for us to build up to this climactic finale. How does that go to the character? How does that come back to the character? Well, I think that the animatronic in question should... I don't think they should be obsessed with anything. Maybe... I'm not sure. This character's odd. I could picture myself doing a sort of story behind them, but not a series. Like a 1 book maximum. Alright, let's go to see what else I missed. Oh, okay. So I was right about her being a smoke animatronic, but she has there's 2 of her. So maybe, like, I'm not sure how you would, that's definitely gotta be worth something, right? Being 2 smoke girls, there has to be some correlation there on who's the real one. Is there a real one? Are they both just them? Are they both the same girl? Or what? I mean, this was definitely an error from the AI, but hey, I'm not complaining. If it's gonna give me a bone, I'm gonna take that bone. That sounds crazy out of context. Anyways, and they also have a sort of stick? I can't tell. Are they a magician? I'm not sure. What is that? I assume that was like a wand or something, but doesn't look like it. Let me just go into the next one. 4th one, 3, 2, 1. This was the wolf I was talking about from the same universe as the Smoke Girls, plural, I guess. They're still in the same universe as dangerous people such as Jackie Purple. We got we got groups in the same universe like the Deadly Dragons and whatnot. And then we got this outlier. Well, I feel like in this universe, every single character is kind of an outlier, right? They feel like they don't belong there, like they were mushed together. And I feel like that's what I'm going for, right? I'm going for a sort of everything approach, where everything is real. Where you're not just your imagination is real here. So monsters, beasts, dragons. I probably got a dragon in there. I can stick up dragon up there. Oh, Wolfraka can deal with the beast and the monsters and all of the species, the animals that you have to go through, right? We could deal with we could do that. And I know I already did a book about the whole all of the species that I know of, that are known, that I've written about. But there's always room for more. There's always room for more. Maybe this wolf can be a sort of, not a tamer, to be frank, but sort of an encyclopedia. You know, they're the ones studying these creatures, studying these new environments, studying everything. And for what, you might be asking? That's a good question. Maybe they're required, hang on, let me cook here. They're required to do that from the deadly dragons. They're a deadly dragon. They're probably trying to get more info on how these superhumans work. You need to know your enemy in order to beat the enemy. Strategy is key for them because that's a big thing that they have. So they probably sent this character out to get information, to study and report back to them on all of their findings. That is, I cooked there. There we go. I'm probably gonna be looking through all of these notes, trying to find, I could see myself a year's time, probably looking through all these notes, trying to find certain characters to work with. That'd be funny. Yeah, I got 40 more seconds. Is there anything else I want to say about this character? I mean, I could definitely see myself doing a whole series on this. A series about the deadly dragons as a whole, pretty much. And them just being a part of the deadly dragons opens up a lot of possibilities. Crossovers between the supernatural, the fantasy, the sci-fi, all into one. And that is time. Got nothing else to say. Let's see if I was right. I knew it. They are yes, I was right about them being a part of the Deadly Dragons, being enhanced. Well, I didn't say enhanced, but they're a werewolf. I'm pretty sure I said that. So, of course, you would get all of the abilities as a regular werewolf. Well, not a regular werewolf. A regular werewolf. Jeez. I'm really losing the plot here. Alright. I was right about them being a part of the Deadly Dragons. Fortunately, they don't have a good design because I haven't played enough with them as a character. But I'm definitely, because of this, I definitely have my eyes open. I have my eyes open for their arrival because of their inclusion. Like, that's how we're gonna stick in some, we're gonna try and stick in some of the supernatural, the sci-fi, the insane part of this universe, the unorthodox of this universe. This is how we're gonna do it. And I'm assuming that he can just change at will and whatnot. So those bloodshot red eyes and the blood on him, it might just... I mean, he is part of the deadly dragons, so of course he has to be a bit deadly at times. Anyways, let's go on to the final character, which will be... Oh no. I was on a roll too. Oh man, who is this guy? Okay, so I know which character... Well, I know which universe this is from. I think I know this. Okay, so this is from the False God universe, where... Is it from the False God universe? I'm pretty sure this is from the False God universe. Don't take my word for it, though. It's about... Well, more of a... Not a false god, but a false superhero. And how... Like, it's how we see people... well, not even... It's like... Yeah, well, yeah. I would say it's more... Like, it's a adaptation of how we see people as idols sometimes. And how some people, I'm not saying all of y'all do this, but there's a lot of people in this world that treat their idols and their... who they see on the television or as an actor, or heck, even in their own jobs. They treat people as, well, a god. They treat them with such status unparalleled to anyone else. When they're just a human at the end of the day. They're just a man at the end of... Well, female, non-binary. I could go on throughout all of them, through all of the genders. Which, if you are, congratulations. I'm happy for you. I don't have... Well, this is 5 minutes. This is literally the only series where I can't spend a lot of time on this. I have to, like, get through the characters first, so let me just think. So the series is about how we see people, how some people see others as... Well, treat others as a god. They treat them with such unparalleled status to anyone, right? And that person that people treat treat good is the protagonist's best friend. It's not even the protagonist. So that protagonist's best friend is the only superhero in this town that we have no name for. Either we have a name for it and I forgot, or we don't. Quite simple. Anyways, so both of them actually have the same exact name, but different last names. So their first names are both Dios. So that's funny. Maybe in the cut, like the real version of the story, I could cut it so where one's Dio and one is Dios. But anyways, regardless, the superhero is, well, they have such powerful abilities and they use them like any other superhero would to stop evil from triumph. But like always, there's going to be some difficulties and complications. Such complications resulted in the hero leaving the city, and with the city on its own, it went to crap, and 5 years later, our protagonist comes in. Oh, that I'm leaving out a whole lot of details, but let's go for them, shall we? And that's if I'm right about the character we're talking about. So let me go here. Oh. Okay, so what I was talking about was this guy, Dios Amigo, and then there's Dios Dad, and then there's Dios Esqueleto. Esqueleto, because that's what it is. Okay, so disregard literally every single thing I just said there. That's a totally different character. All three have the same last name. Well, same first name, I mean. But the last name makes a big difference. I was even wrong about which universe they are in. So this Dios is an entity. It's not a person, not a thing. Kind of looks like Sans, but it's an entity that... Okay, so we're in a universe called... Well, we're in Dioxide's universe. A universe where he was gifted a mask with such grand power, and he used it to his will. He used his power unrighteously and well, he used it for himself, pretty much. He was supposed to be more selfless, and less self-righteous. I guess, if that makes sense. So this entity is the only thing that has apprehended Mascarilla, the god of mask. The god of mask is the one that gifted Dioxide the power they needed to do everything they wanted to do. So there's that. With one of their... Okay, so this guy stole one of the god of mask's mask, and then stole 75% of her power to turn from a normal mask Joe into this purple godlike skeleton entity, but somehow Mascarilla, the god of mask, trapped him in this dimension for 100 years, and we finally developed the power to leave without Mascarilla, the god of mask, knowing. So, pretty much, he wasn't always a man. He turned from a man to... Well, he was another one of the people that the god of mask lended a mask to. So they wielded that power and betrayed the god of mask and stole some of the god of mask's power 100 years ago. They were 19 when they were human. And once they stole their power, they became an entity. But somehow, someway, the god of Mask sealed him up for 100 years in another dimension. All alone with only his power to develop and no way out. No friends to talk to, no family to watch or love, no body to... Like, he was broken. But he has only focused on his power and have it grow and grow and grow. And once his power grew enough, it developed enough into something that could cut through the fabric of the dimension and letting him leave into his home. After a whole 100 years, he had finally made it home without Mascarilla, the god of Mask, knowing, having a single clue. So this character right here could be good, right? I mean, I already think they're a great character. Different from Sans in every single way, except for design-wise. And even so, it's very different. They have tentacles, they have horns, they have hair, a bandana, because why not, I guess? And they were stuck in a rainbow dimension for 100 years. So 100 years of experience and leveling up their power. But that also gave Mascarilla the time to heal and rejuvenate, regain their power that they lost to Dios. Again, I need a different name. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys later. We went through all 5. This is a lot longer than 5 minutes, I know. I'll see you guys later. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Tell me which character you like the most. And I will see you all later.